JMC 6000 here on this beautiful, bright and sunny spring day here in the first month of April. And what I want to bring you in this first month is this GMC Canyon Elevation. So this is the base elevation. In fact, before we begin, let's go ahead and look at the window sticker. Kind of do a different route this today for the review, but let's look at the window sticker real quick. Since I have it off, get this on loan from our local GMC dealer. But this is the window sticker. Here it is, 2024 Canyon 4-wheel drive elevation crew cab. There is no options on this thing except for a rear spray-in bed liner and the rear axle ratio of 342. That's it. Total MSRP is $41,370, and everything you see and everything I'm going to show you is all standard. And basically, when you get a 4-wheel drive crew cab elevation, everything that you see here is going to come standard on the 4-wheel drive elevation series. So let's start from the front. Again, you know the sticker is $41,000. Up front here, we got the big GMC grille with the kind of texturized hood. It looks very good. We have the big GMC logo. There is no front camera or any kind of radar sensor because this does not have the adaptive cruise control option. That'll be another $3,000 because it's wrapped in some other packages. You just can't get the $995 tech package by itself. So you wrap it in some other packages. But anyway, it does come with a camera up there to monitor how distant you are between you and the person in front of you. But what we have here, which is nice, for 41 grand, we have straight LED headlights, high beams, LED daytime running lights that are right here, and also we also have LED fog lights as well. No fog lights. Turn signals, LED turn signals. I'm guessing fog lights would maybe be here, or maybe, I'm not quite sure. I don't see any on this particular model, but I do believe it does have recovery tow hooks that are under, yes we do, right here. Big old beefy recovery tow hook. So on the side here, we have 18-inch blacked out rims on the elevation. They are 265 65 R18s. Goodyear Wrangler tires. They come standard on the elevation. You have wheel liners even in the back here, kind of the fabric liner. Leaf spring rear end, front independent front suspension, but leaf spring rear end with shocks that are mounted inboard of the frame rails and not outboard like the new Ranger and the new Tacoma. So something kind of think about. You come standard with a bedside step. There we go. Rear suspension is not bad. And then on the back here, you do get LED running lights, but the brake light and the turn signal and the backup light are all incandescent. So, and then all incandescent up there on the third brake light with the cargo lights. No dampened tailgate on this model, but you do get, for the $475, you get the spray-in bed liner. You get this plastic kind of backing here on this tailgate as well. And then you get some nice hooks or anything. But one of the things you don't get in this particular model is you have no LED bed lighting at all. You have no kind of power outlet or anything like that. You basically get what you get, and this is it. So nothing really fancy going on here. And there is available some tailgate as far as storage. This particular model doesn't have it, but man, that sounds really hollow. Anyway, GMC Canyon kind of got the look back here. This does not have any kind of tow hitch or hooks, but well, it does have hooks, but no kind of tow hitch or anything like that back here. So you don't have that option. So don't mind the old Mitsubishi Mighty Max in the background. It's kind of noisy. All right, so let's go ahead. Let me go show you what it's like on the room back here on the inside. All right, so room back here on the inside. I had the seat all the way down and it's set to my preference. I'm at 5'10". I can't, unless I bring the seat up a little bit, I can't put my feet underneath the seat very well. But I got a little bit of room. I've done a Chevy Colorado review before, so this is going to be very similar. I have a little bit of room. It's actually not bad back here, but I don't have a folding armrest or anything like that. I do get some nice air vents, but I only get one USB power outlet right there. So, and incandescent lighting back here, none, and no sliding rear glass window. So that's kind of unique. So anyway, this is kind of my room. It's okay. I would put the room kind of on par with the Maverick. And I don't know, maybe the Maverick has a little bit more creature comforts back here than I would say than this particular vehicle does. But definitely better room than what's in the back of the Toyota Tacoma that I reviewed last week. For room back here, I will put this definitely better than what's in the Toyota Tacoma. Anyway, so let's go ahead and check out the front, and let's do the, oh, actually, before we do that, let's go ahead and look underneath the hood. This truck sits really high up. I don't know the ground clearance. I think it's upwards of almost 10 inches. So I may be off on that. I think it's just a little under 10. But underneath the hood, we have GM's 2.7, I got to use a prop rod. GM's 2.7 liter, putting out 310 horsepower, 430 pound-feet of torque. Now, if you know anything about this engine is used in the Silverado, it's used in the Sierra as their base engine now. You can still get this or the 5.3 or the 6.2, but a lot of dealerships are ordering this engine because supposedly a better gas mileage. But one thing I didn't look on the window sticker, but we're going to look on it now. You can keep that hood up. The gas mileage. 18 in the city, 22 on the highway, 19 around town. So gas mileage is okay. I think there's some vehicles out there, some mid-size trucks out there. I guarantee you that the Toyota Tacoma is going to get better gas mileage than this pig. And probably the new Ford Ranger with the 2.3 is going to get better gas mileage than this thing. But anything, just really, there's nothing really fancy going on. It does use an air-to-air intercooler for the turbo. You have air that comes in here, goes in through this big, massive air duct here that actually helps to silence the air going into the turbo, which is on the side here. And then after that, it comes out of the turbo, goes through a intercooler up front here, comes out of the intercooler, and you see this massive tube right here. That's the air, the charge air tube that goes into the intake. Plastic intake then goes into the engine that way. This engine, unfortunately, is only direct injected. Unlike the Toyota engine, which actually uses direct and port injection, this is only direct injected. And there's some other features that are going on with this engine. I'm not really going to go into it now. Anyway, let's go ahead and go inside, and let's go ahead and review the interior. All right. Inside the GMC, I wanted to say JMC, but GMC Canyon right here. This is the Elevation series, and then everything you see in here is pretty much standard on the Elevation series with this four-wheel drive model. Again, you have some nice high ground clearance. Now let's go over some of the things I like and dislike about the GMC Canyon. This is going to be a proper review since I didn't really give one for the Chevy Colorado, but I wanted to do this for the GMC Canyon, and I kind of wanted to compare it back to back to the Toyota Tacoma I reviewed just last week. So a couple of things. Let me go over my likes first that I wanted to say. Number one is, I have to say, is the screens are impressive. One of the things that my son pointed out, and one of the nice things is that this screen right in front of me, this screen is standard, and you can go through and change different options. You can have your maps up there in the screen. You can do this kind of unique, that kind of unique screen there. You can also do this screen here, which actually gives you the direction you're going, steering angle, what your transfer case, pitch and roll, and all that. So kind of an off-road screen there, which is pretty cool looking. You can also have this traditional screen, which I like. This actually shows you driver safety information here. And then you continue, this is kind of like a comm screen. And then the screen that I like, this is one of my favorite ones that I like, has a speedometer there and the tachometer in the center, with your audio information on this side and your trip on this side. And then this screen is another one that I like as well, kind of traditional looking with dials and everything. Then we have this screen here, which I believe is, oh my goodness, 11 inches, if I remember correctly. And basically it's GM's kind of Google Assistant associated, almost Android-based infotainment system. You got them on home screen. You can do different widgets on here, music, different music choices, maps, which uses Google Maps. You can see just came right up there. This is if I want it when I connect my phone. And then this is kind of quick shortcuts, power window lockout, cameras, which you can view your rear view camera right there. traction control on and off, auto high beams on and off, and then that is it. And then your lighting controls are right here in the screen. You don't have a separate switch. So anyway, you can see more controls, and you got lights, doors, windows, park and drive, anything, all that right in this screen here. Anyway, just put on maps real quick. That looks pretty impressive. Climate control is pretty nice as well. That's another highlight, is climate control is very simple. This is a single zone, but you have your fan speed right here. You have where the air comes out, defrost, front panel, floor, recirculate, on, off, max, defrost, AC, and then your temperature control. Very easy. And then you have shortcut buttons right down here. All windows go down. Auto start stop, hazards. I believe that is lane keeping, and then auxiliary if you want to hook up an auxiliary. Then you have your USBs, your 4-wheel drive selector right here. You can choose between auto, for high, or for low, and you can choose different modes. This will choose off-road mode, tow haul mode, terrain mode, normal. So different modes you can choose from. I'm gonna go to put it back in normal, and it should automatically switch back to too high for me. Awesome. And then I can make sure I hit too high, I can hit for low, or I can hit auto. All right, it's in too high. Awesome. So, and then electronic parking brake. So kind of did my overall, so likes, screens, absolutely impressive. I have to say, I like the looks of the GMC Canyon over the Chevy Colorado. Has more of a grown-up kind of a truck look to it. And I like that attitude that this thing has about it. And then final like that I have for this vehicle has to be interior comfort. I mean, the interior is really kind of comfortable. These seats, they're okay. They can be a little bit softer, a little bit more squishier, but overall comfort with the back seat, with the front seat, and just the way the interior feels, it actually feels very, very comfortable, and I quite like the interior of the GMC Canyon. I wish there was a little bit more color variation here in the Elevation. I know Elevation Basic's going to be all black. I mean, the only thing that kind of breaks up the monotony of black is this chrome scattered throughout the interior, because of course GMC is professional grade. So they had all this chrome on the steering wheel, door handle, all over the interior, some bits and pieces here. But I love how soft touch, you got soft touch material. This is hard, but that's all right. Soft touch here, soft touch here, soft touch nice in here. Nice soft open, close, big center console. So there are some nice things. And in fact, I would say this interior is better for cheaper money than the Toyota Tacoma and its cousin, the Chevy Colorado. I rather have this than the Colorado, and I rather have this than the Toyota Tacoma. So I'm giving it high praise for the GMC Canyon. Now, some downsides. Not everything's all rosy. Some downsides for the Canyon. Number one is the powertrain. Now, people are just swearing up and down about the 2.7. I'm not really sold on it. It's okay. It's kind of wheezy. It groans, and it I don't know. It's just weird. It sounds very anemic. That's a proper term. It doesn't sound very good, and it doesn't have a pleasing sound. Right now I'm sitting out, I got the air conditioning on, and I can feel the vehicle shake a little bit. It's not the smoothest powertrain. It actually has a little bit of a 4-cylinder shake to it. And I know it's a big displacement 4-cylinder, 2.7, I get that. But it's not the smoothest, and it's kind of wheezy. It takes its time. It doesn't do anything with any kind of urgency. The Toyota Tacoma with the 2.4 is much better than this engine here. True, it may not have as much power on paper, but I actually felt that the powertrain felt better and sounded not by much, but it did sound better, and it felt better than this one here. This one's just, it's kind of lazy. The 8-speed automatic's lazy. The engine is lazy. It takes its time. Anyway, powertrain, and it doesn't get very good gas mileage. So number two dislike I have for the GMC, again, all black interior. Not a big fan of all black interiors. And then they splash everything with chrome that when the light hits it, as it is right now, the sunlight's hitting this, and it's beaming right back into my eye. It's kind of crazy. So that's another downside to just an all black interior. And then final dislike I have on the GMC Canyon is the ride. because the shocks are inboard of the frame rails and there's multiple leafs on the leaf pack, this has a very, very stiff ride to it. Comparing it to the Toyota Tacoma, I would say the rides are about the same. Both have a very stiff ride to it. This may be a little bit more stiff, but not by much compared to the Tacoma I tested last week. So those are my 3 likes and 3 dislikes. Overall, comparing this to the Toyota Tacoma, comparing this to the Chevy Colorado, and to the Nissan Frontier, I've yet to compare this to the Ranger because I'm trying to locate a new Ranger so I can review that. But comparing all of the mid-size vehicles, and we're not going to include the Honda Ridgeline at this point because the Honda Ridgeline, I think, is in a different dynamic than any of these trucks. But I would get this over the Frontier. I would get this over the Tacoma, even with the Wheezy engine. And I would probably get this over the Ridgeline as well. Now, if you want more room, you know, if you want a more comfortable ride, yes, get the Ridgeline. But as far as you want a mid-size truck to do mid-size truck things with the capability, 4-wheel drive, everything else, and with some style to it, this looks 10 times better than the Ridgeline. I would say go for the GMC Canyon. Again, I would recommend this over the Frontier. I would recommend this even over the Tacoma, even though I love the Tacoma's powertrain. The only highlight I would say to the Tacoma has to be if you get a TRD off-road with that powertrain. I might recommend that over this thing, but the interior in this is so much better than the Tacoma. It really is. That's a hard choice. Man, that's a really tough choice. And we're going to have to wait to see the new Ranger, and then I'll be able to compare all 3. All right, you guys stay tuned for my driving portion of this video, and I'll kind of let you know what I feel about overall everything about this. Thank you. All right, JMC 6000 here, back in the GMC Canyon, and I'm going up not my normal routes, but I'm on the highway here, 70 miles an hour, and I picked a stretch of the highway that encounters or actually has a little bit of an incline that I wanted to go ahead and do. Have the cruise control set to 70, so we're going to see how this performs. I got a little bit of construction up ahead of me, so we'll see what happens. But yeah, the reason why I wanted to do this was I wanted to go ahead and go up this hill just to see. Don't mind the tapping in the background, that is just a license plate on the window. But I just wanted to kind of see how this truck performs. Again, one of the biggest complaints I have with this truck is the powertrain. It just feels lazy. I mean, the 8-speed shifts lazy. The 2.7, despite it being a big displacement, it feels very lethargic. I mean, then all of a sudden power come on and it kind of feels all right, but it's nothing that, I mean, for the number suggested, nothing that like blows your mind or wows you or really puts you back into the seat. And I mean, I tell you what, the smaller 2.4 in the Tacoma feels better than this thing does as far as powertrain wise. And then fuel economy is not the best. I have to admit that the fuel economy in Toyota really surprised me, where this thing on the highway barely gets 22, maybe 23. It sort of hits the EPA numbers, but nothing like what the Tacoma was getting. Anyway, we're climbing up this hill. It has it downshifted. I was impressed by that. It's kind of just chugging along this hill, doing pretty good. It seems to be pulling just fine, pulling up just fine. The ride is a little choppy, a little stiff. As I said before, it takes corners okay, probably not the best in taking corners, but it takes them okay. I wouldn't say it's outrageous, but again, what do you expect for a tall, big pickup like this? So, but it's doing all right. I'm getting along through traffic, pulling up just fine, and I have no issues with the way it's performing right now. Again, just sometimes just trying to get up to speed can be a little bit lazy and lethargic, but other than that, it's a decent ride. I think what really, let me do an overall conclusion then I'll end this video. Really, my overall thoughts and feelings of the GMC Canyon is that the interior is miles ahead of the new Toyota Tacoma. I will say that, miles ahead of the new Toyota Tacoma. And for me, I would say just in interior alone, I would choose this over the Tacoma. But the Tacoma's powertrain is really, really good. I mean, the 2.4 teamed up with that 8-speed, it's a really good combo. And, man, that's a hard one to beat. I mean, and I really do like the looks of the Tacoma. So, for me, I would say if you can get a little bit better interior into Tacoma and not spend too much more than what you're spending here, it might be worth it. But, man, Toyota Tacoma prices are really high compared to this thing. So, man, it's a hard toss-up. I'm going to tell you that right now. Anyway, can't go wrong with either one. Again, I would recommend this thing over the Nissan Frontier. I would recommend this thing over even some of the other mid-sized trucks, you know, even the Tacoma, depending on the trim. But especially over the Colorado, I would get the GMC. I don't know why people look at the Colorado. Go with the GMC. Go with this vehicle every single day of the week over the Colorado. Anyway, I know it's on the same platform and all that, and then we'll have to wait to test the new Ranger. We'll see how much Ford has changed the Ranger. I'm excited to test that, and we'll bring that to you here soon. All right, you guys be blessed. Have a wonderful day. Look, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell notification. I upload every single Wednesday morning and every single Saturday afternoon for JMC Garage Talk. I got an engine teardown video coming up this Saturday, so make sure you stay tuned for that. Awesome, you guys be blessed. Thank you.